What's going on, my fellow Jedi and Padawans? Welcome back to another Jedi gaming video. Thank you guys so much for coming back to the channel, and if you guys are new, welcome. Y'all's support over the past year here has been absolutely crazy. Last month alone got almost 80,000 views, which is super good for me, and I truly appreciate all that crazy support from you guys. Now, before we get into today's video with this Void Paladin Titan that you're seeing in the gameplay, we have this beautiful 144Hz monitor from Pixio with that 1 millisecond refresh rate giveaway going on right now. Link is down in the description, and it ends September 14th, so make sure to get down into that as soon as you can before it ends. Now, this build that we're going over today is a subscriber requested build from the YouTube. They wanted a Titan build that helps our allies as well as destroys enemies. So we're the tank of the group. We're granting Overshield in a lot of different ways with the explosions, the void going on, as well as our shield. And on top of that, we're debuffing enemies with our grenade. And we're using the Titan specific glaive, the edge of action, for those super hard to get reses, so you can pop a bubble on it just with your weapon. Now, to start off for this build, we're going to be using our Sentinel class with Ward of Dawn to get everybody safe, give them that buff of Weapons of Dawn to have that extra DPS, and it grants Guardians that Void Overshield when passing through it, so it's very good for that support like we're trying to build this class out for. Now, for me, I love the Towering Barricade. It just is so much better at keeping out DPS in the PvE realm. So definitely throwing on Towering Barricade with Strafe Jump. Now, for me, I'm using Shield Throw instead of Shoulder Bash, just because if an enemy isn't super close to you, you can throw this at them, and the explosion from that ability defeat will actually grant them Overshield. So it's a little bit easier to reach a target that's far away. Plus, you can still throw it close up and have the same thing happen. But when we have our glaive equipped and out, we're not going to be able to melee anyways because of the glaive action. So we'll have to switch to our primary to throw this shield here. Now, for our grenades, I think Vortex is the best for creating that pull-in effect, and then it also creates a nice wide AoE for that damage. Again, those explosions that you'll see in our aspects and fragments that help heal our allies. Now, for our aspects here, we're going to have Controlled Demolitionist, so this is what I was talking about. Hitting a target with a Void ability or Volatile Explosion makes them volatile. Further damaging the target and causing them to explode grants you and nearby allies health when the volatile targets explode nearby us. So basically everything we hit with grenades are melee as well as volatile rounds, and cause that explosion, if they explode near us, is going to give us and our allies health. So we're going to be causing these explosions everywhere with our grenades, most importantly, as well as that's going to give our weapons volatile rounds to continue those void explosions. For our second aspect here, we have Bastion. Casting your super grants Overshield to allies. That is why we're using the nice Sentinel with the Titan bubble here. Casting your Barricade also grants Overshield to your allies and empowers it, enabling a slow regeneration of that Overshield over time. So this is, again, a great way for us to give our allies an Overshield just by casting our Barricade, and because we have 100 resilience, we're going to be able to get this back super fast. Now, for our fragments, very important, we have our void weakening grenades, and we're going to have 2 of them because we're wearing the armamentarium chest piece for double grenades. So this allows us to throw grenades around all willy-nilly like, especially with how we're going to get that regen back inside of our mods on our armor. Next off, we have Echo of Expulsion, so the Void ability final blows cause targets to explode. This just pairs perfectly with Controlled Demolitionist to get those extra explosions, which will in turn heal us and our nearby allies, so it's just another way to protect our teammates in those Void explosions. Last but not least, right here we have Echo of Instability. So each defeat that we get with those grenades is going to cause our void weapons to have volatile rounds. So our glaive, when we shoot it out, not just using the melee, you actually have to use the projectile. It'll cause targets to explode, once again with Controlled Demolitionist, giving nearby allies health as well as you. Now for our weapons here, first off, we have the Rod C with Subsistence and Demo. This is for when we run out of our grenades by chance. We're able to use that Demolitionist, get a couple defeats, and replenish our grenade energy, as well as we have to use this weapon to throw our shield, because when we have our glaive out, we'll just do that glaive melee. Right here is our energy weapon that we will be pairing with our Rod C in the Edge of Action. This is our Titan-specific exotic glaive. With the Void Burn, we'll be able to get volatile rounds on this bad boy, creating those void explosions to heal our allies when we actually use the projectile to shoot. And that is actually how we generate energy for this weapon, which allows us to pop that baby bubble. So you have to generate energy by dealing range damage with the projectile, and then once it's charged up, you press your reload button or key, and then the overcharge will be able to shoot out that little baby bubble to protect your allies or get one of those tricky reses. If you use the shield to block enemy damage, you will lose that energy that you got from those ranged attacks. Now throwing this on, since we're going to be close and personal anyways with the glaive, we're going to be using Falling Guillotine, the god of the swords in the legendary version. Now this is that void, so we'll be able to get volatile rounds on this as well, creating those nice explosions when we are surrounded by a lot of enemies. Now for our armor mods on here, we're going to be using Harmonic Siphon to get orbs of power with both our glaive and our sword, as well as firepower. So when we're charged with light, we regain a portion of our grenade energy when using our grenade. This consumes 1 stack of charge with light. We're going to become charged with light by picking up Void Elemental Wells. We're going to create those Void Elemental Wells by Elemental Ordnance right here. Defeating combatants with grenade spawns Elemental Wells that matches our subclass, so we're going to be creating those Void Elemental Wells. Then on top of that, we have Grenade Kickstart, so when your grenade energy is fully expended, you gain grenade energy. Just pairs perfect with throwing grenades around all over the place, since it's the main focus of this build, causing that weakening of enemies and those void explosions, as well as our Void Elemental Wells here. Nothing too special about our exotic here, besides it gives us 2 grenade charges, which is super important since we're using our grenades to cause explosions as well as elemental wells. And we have bountiful wells on this, so we can stack 2 versions of elemental ordnance, so we're producing a lot more of those void elemental wells. I chose to use this chest piece instead of something like Helm of Saint 14, just because it's a little bit more remote, as in the fact if a teammate isn't right next to you, then you can throw your grenade and help them with those explosions if they're surrounded, or you can use your glaive to pop a bubble on them. It's just a little bit better having those double grenade chargers and being able to spread that explosion a little bit better than just blinding enemies by walking inside of your bubble. Now on our boots here, we're going to have Elemental Charge, which is how we're becoming charged with light via those elemental wells from our grenades. And then we also have Better Already, which we pick up those orbs of power that we create from Harmonic Siphon to give us a little bit of health regen ourselves, just to keep us alive a little bit better. And last but not least, on our class item here, we have our second Elemental Ordnance to create those extra Void Elemental Wells, and then 2 Bombers, so it reduces grenade cooldown when using our class ability. And since we have 100 resilience here, we're able to get our shield very, very fast, which will, since we have 2 bombers on, be able to replace our grenade energy super, super fast. So as you can see in the gameplay here, we are just being that tank and helping out, even if it is with a lot of people around and we're not getting every single defeat. We're able to get a lot of void grenade kills and pop a lot of these bubbles and shields around to keep our allies alive, keep those overshields on everybody at all times, because they're standing behind 2 of my Titan shields basically at once, since we're getting ability energy back by picking up our elemental wells, and with that nice 10 tier resilience Brilliance. It's very hard to die, plus we get our shield back super fast, in turn giving us our grenade. We're just able to keep everybody alive with our bubble, with the bubble from our glaive, and it's a very, very effective support build for our Titan here. You can, like I said, substitute Helm of Saint 14, so when people walk through your bubble, whether it be from the glaive or the actual Titan bubble that you do as your super, enemies will get blinded, which is very, very effective inside of the PvE realm. So hopefully y'all like this nice Paladin support Titan build for Void. Very fun. I was loving using this inside of something like Altar of Sorrows like I'm showing you. So very, very good support tier for your Titan here. So thank you guys again. Truly appreciate the support. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.